It seems that with the latest hires for the Eagles' new coaching staff, headlined by Sean Mannion, we're looking at a tale of two halves for the replacements of Jeff Stoutland and Christian Parker. Never mind the retention of Jamal Singleton and the less popular Aaron Moorhead, it appears to be the same between the new O line coach in Chris Cooper and the soon to be defensive backs coach, Mike Pellegrino. Hello, everyone. Once again, Lindy Endzone is back for the touchdown once more, taking the lead for the Philadelphia Eagles. One video at a time. And today's news is a bit more of an interesting one, considering there is a lot of positivity in the opinions being shared and expressed by the most recent preparation in hiring Mike. Much like our very own Jordan Mailata, coming from a different sport, when it comes to Pellegrino, he was a former two-time All-American in college for the sport of lacrosse and got into coaching in the NFL at a very young age. Because Joe Casper has already gotten the promotion to defensive backs coach after Christian Parker's departure at this point, it is not known of the exact role that Mike will have upon entering the new construction for the 2026 coaching staff. At this moment, all we really have to go by is his previous roles, mostly for the Patriots and 1 year with the Buffalo Bills. So, 9 of his first 10 years were spent in New England while the Bill Belichick regime was still intact, getting to work under him as an intern to start with in 2015 before working himself up from then to his current roles now until after the 2024 season before joining the Bills for 1 year. Now, for some of this information, credit to Matt Zenitz on X for some of it, such as his lacrosse career, and listing the fact, such as in this one here, that he worked with some great corners like Christian Gonzalez, JC Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, and I'm sure there's a few others in there as well. But one area that I find interesting is this one right here, where Matt talks about um, Mike working for the Patriots for 10 seasons, including his final six as a cornerbacks coach. Now, this is where like I said, this is where it gets interesting to me. So, not only will he now add to his repertoire with working with those great corners, he gets to add Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell to that mix. But when it comes to the New England Patriots, when we see the final six seasons, um, of those nine that Mike Pellegrino spent on the defensive coaching staff for New England, two of those, the Patriots had the number one defense in terms of points allowed. 2019 in this stretch sticks out the most to me, as we can see here, bringing it up from Pro Football Reference. They only allowed 14 points a game. 14. And it's also credit from an offensive standpoint. If you're the seventh best scoring offense, um, it's very complimentary to have when you got a very good defense, of course. Now we can look at it from this perspective as well. Unfortunately, they lost in the wild card round And we've certainly heard the phrase Super Bowl defense before talking about our team, and deservingly so. But it stinks when when seasons like that go to waste from a defensive perspective when you're that good. And that's part of why I like the statistic for points allowed better than just looking at some of the others. While you can dive into specifics, like for instance, I love the statistic for how how good a defense is on third down, and vice versa. Excuse me, sorry, and vice versa from the offense. If you look into 2019, the Patriots were only, I believe, 21st in terms of third down. But if you're first when it comes to scoring overall, yeah, offenses are able to push the ball down the field if you're not strong enough on third down. But it's the difference in giving up field goals instead of touchdowns. So for me, when I look at a statistic like that for the defense, in terms of points allowed, that's one of my number ones. Um, I would say now, although there's a lot more moving pieces to the defense between players and coaches, it is very noteworthy that Mike is coming from high level years of quality play on that side of the ball and will fit in very well to helping the staff, led by Vic Fangio, and maybe giving Vic one last hurrah on a high note once more after Super Bowl 59. At this point, there's no telling who the Eagles will continue to add in the secondary, especially if they do not bring back the serviceable Adoree Jackson, who finished strong under Vic Fangio and had some fans apologizing because I do remember myself personally towards the beginning of the season, Adoree did not look very good. But he came on strong, and as I mentioned, he was very serviceable in that rotation between Quignon and Cooper DeJean, and when the defense took a hit and losing Andrew McCoop at the safety position, he held his own when he needed to, and it really helped in the long run that we didn't need to see a lot of Keely Ringo because let's not go there. Um, but whatever this coaching staff decides to do, there's definitely some confidence building in the fan base behind this latest hire for how sound the defense already is. So long as they figure out everything else that they need to, whether it's talking about the 50-year option idea for Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, something like that, for example, and trying to build up the defensive line and looking at the future of the linebacker position, so on and so forth. Um, whether it is a guarantee, and it seems to be a guarantee that this is Vic Fangio going into his last year before retirement. A lot of those foundational set pieces for the defense need to be intact going forward to whoever decides to take Fangio's place. That way, it's a easy enough transition. But now it is y'all's turn to let me know down in the comments on your thoughts on the addition of Mike Pellegrino as part of the defensive backs staff. And again, it is still unknown at this point as to what his true role is going to be, with Joe Casper getting his promotion to defensive backs coach. And all we know from the previous roles is Pellegrino being a part of the nickel position. So who knows what the Eagles decide to do after the hire is complete. But again, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the hire. And be sure to check out the rest of my content, which is also posted at a new destination, as you can see in my most recent thumbnails, being a part of the Hardcore Sports Network. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you to everyone for watching in my return to the YouTube space and covering the Philadelphia Eagles. Very humbling and very appreciative in welcoming me back and giving me the time of day. So thank you to everybody for watching. And I will see the Fly Eagles Fly crew again soon. Take care, y'all.